Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Tess, your radio alarm has woken you up. Sunlight is pouring through the open curtains that waft slightly in the breeze. It is a morning of a brand new day. You stretch, you feel well rested, and you begin getting ready for work. Bon Jovi's It's My Life is playing, and you leave your abode and make your way to work at Hogan Levels International. You pass Nose Job Judy on the way in, sharing pleasantries. And you have a great day. You make a lot of progress on a case that you've been working with. And then you realize that you're going to have to work late. You've been at your office for some time. And you feel tired. The energy that you started the day with is eking away. And you feel that it's probably best for you to go home. But before you do, you always go to the ladies. And you look at your reflection in the mirror. It's like often when people look into mirrors, sometimes they look a little bit too long and they see something in their reflection that they don't necessarily recognize to be them. You ignore this feeling and you open the door of the bathroom, and standing there in the corridor is you. A look of pure horror spreading across your face. Tess, you are looking upon a duplicate of yourself. It looks to be an almost patchwork, made-up human being. Looking closely, you can see it's almost like sack fabric for skin. A sewn mouth and two mismatched black buttons for eyes. And it begins advancing towards you. You find yourself almost frozen to the spot as this voice that's yours but also not yours says, "You aren't supposed to be here." And then starts humming, singing a familiar tune. It's my life. It's now or never. I am going to live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive. Tess, can you give me a brawl check, please?
Rob Pinford 10 on creeping me out, by the way. Is that so? That's strength and brawl?
It is strength and brawl, or dex and brawl, whichever you.
That's 3 successes.
This made-up version of you lurches forward, and before you can do anything, it seizes you by the shoulders with these rag-like arms, and it just lifts you into the air and launches you vertically into the air. You smash violently into the ceiling and then smash back onto the ground. You take 10 bludgeoning damage, which, as you are resistant to, you get 5 instead. So that's 5 of the boxes that I want you to tick off. How does it feel as you're put into the ceiling and then dropped onto the ground?
At first, it's just shock. I'm utter shock and disbelief of what is happening. Yeah, she doesn't know what's going on. And I don't, it just hurts. She hasn't felt this kind of pain in a while, ever, maybe.
Toff, it does not take any kind of check for you to hear the massive smash of someone being smashed into a ceiling. You look from the far side of the office where you're investigating Tess's office, and you see some figure with its back to you standing over the over Tess. What do you do?
Toff immediately runs between these cubicles towards the elevator and the door that leads to the bathroom. He just yells, "Hey, get your hands off her!"
It turns around and it looks at you. But this thing looks entirely different to you. This thing looks exactly like Tess. It seems that Tess is the only one that can see through the fabrication. So before you are 2 versions of Tess. One is on the floor, one is on the ground. And the one that turns around is just staring at you as you approach, rushing towards them.
Well, that answered one of my questions, which is, what does Toff see? And he sees 2 Tesses. So that he would kind of skid to a stop at that, and he'd just say, "What the fuck? Tess?" And then he looks at the one on the floor. He's like, "Tess?" And his hands start to flex, and he just starts to feel that kind of that rage, that intensity. And about how far away is Toff from Tess's?
You're within range if you wanted to attack. If you wanted to, you're basically.
Yeah, I think he just kind of coils like a spring, like a cat ready to pounce upon its prey. So he kind of rolls up onto the balls of his feet, but he doesn't do it yet because honestly, he doesn't know who's who. I mean, Tess is a vampire, so if there's like this human dressing up to look like Tess, then it would make sense that she was just slammed by Tess onto the floor. And I guess maybe he'd see the ceiling too. So he's just going to wait. So he's just kind of like confused, but ready to move.
The replica turns about now.
Oh shit! You know something? I am going to retcon that because Taylor did remind me. I know what Tess is wearing, so I would know which one. Unless this one is wearing the exact same clothes as Tess.
No, wearing different clothes, office wear.
So so everything would be the same except that as he kind of coils up, he just lunges forward and just tries to grab this fake Tess by the throat and just kind of slam her up against the wall, the far wall.
Absolutely, make your attack.
Okay.
And I will pose to see if it's successful.
All right. So I will be using my potency to empower the attack.
Okay.
So that's a brawl, right?
Yep. Brawl and dex.
And I can re-roll a 10.
And if you, the other thing that I remembered, if you roll any 1s, that means you deduct a success.
Okay. Six successes.
Unfortunately, the replicant surpasses that. So as you rush forward to try and pin this thing, it instead lurches forward, one arm seizing you by the throat and slams you hard through the bathroom door. it splinters and you go flying into a stall, which explodes as you smash into it. And you are going to take, what was it? That's 4 bludgeoning, which would be 8, but you are resistant to it, so you only take 4. You smash through bathroom stalls. This thing, it looks exactly like Tess, and it's just put you through the door. Tess, you are on the ground, and you are winded and looking up at this copy of you.
Stop! We'll leave. Just stop. Toff.
It looks down upon you, and it opens its stitched mouth, and it says, "Life is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way." And then it reaches down, and it is going to go to pick you up. So if you want to oppose that, then you got to say.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am trying to back away.
Okay.
I don't know how.
So you're just running. Is that it? You're just trying to get out of the way?
I'm just trying to like dodge out of this. I suppose is a better.
Yeah, you can do a dodge. Absolutely. That's Dex and dodge.
Oh, do I have a dodge? Oh, if I put any points in dodge, I might be in trouble. Okay, I don't have a dodge option.
There is one, isn't there?
Brawl?
Or you just don't have... Yeah, you can take a brawl, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh my god. You're going to have to pull something special, Taylor, I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay, I've got 2 successes firstly, but one of them's a 10, so I can re-roll that, right?
You can re-roll it. If it's a success, you count it.
Okay, just 2. I'm in trouble.
So you lurch back on your hands and feet, sort of just trying to drag yourself away from this thing, but it seizes you by the leg and it starts dragging you down the corridor, making its way towards a fire escape. And it's still humming the tune that maybe once was echoing upon your own radio alarm once. But Toff, you are in a bathroom stall and it is shattered to pieces. What are you doing?
So I imagine he's like on his hands and knees, and he's just shaking his head. He has not experienced that in quite a while, and the strength of that replicant, that twin of Tess, was astounding to him. He just pounds his fist on the tiled floor, cracking some of the tile, and he just gets up and kind of just rushes out of the shattered doorway. And so he sees this thing. He sees Tess dragging Tess down towards the fire escape. Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely see Tess being dragged behind the other version of Tess.
Okay. And how is it holding Tess? Like how is it dragging
Oh, sorry,
her?
I thought you were asking. So it's basically grabbed her by the ankle. It's just dragging her by the ankle down the corridor.
Yeah. Fuck. He's just going to run as fast as he can and just bullet into this thing. Like tuck like right up tight, pull in tight, and just slam into this thing as hard as he can to try to get it to release Tess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, brawl.
I don't know what I'm going to do because I rolled pretty well last time. Right. Yeah, this time it's only 5 successes.
You succeed. You slam into the back of this thing, and it drops Tess, and it just wobbles about.
So one of the things that Toff can do is that he has the disciplined celerity, which allows him to break up his moves. But I just have to give up one of my celerity die, and I have to use a blood point. I'm going to use that to quickly kind of roll back up, and I'm going to spin and pick up Tess and run as quickly as I can for the stairway. to get away from this thing.
The stairway that it was moving towards, so behind it, yeah?
Yeah. If that's the way out, that's the way Toff is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you don't need to roll or anything, you can just do that with celerity, can't you? Right.
You could give me some difficulties and make me roll if you felt it was appropriate.
I'm
like maybe
going to, because it's going to try and stop you. So whatever you would roll for that, do that, but it's standard difficulty because you're using celerity. So
so I would gain 1 celerity die because I'm using 1 to do it. And would that be Dex? I would imagine if I'm trying to evade it.
Dex and dodge, yeah. If you have dodge or whatever, you can argue that you'll be using.
Athletics? I don't see a dodge.
To be honest, I don't know how you use celerity. Yeah, use athletics. Athletics is fine for now.
Celerity just gives you an extra die when you're using dexterity, I think, right? In most situations.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can use a blood point to get a second action on your turn. You just put up the dice that you would use across those 2 actions.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like you're just getting another
You
turn.
still have to resolve the action like normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gives you basically a double action.
Yeah. So make your roll, and I'm going to try and oppose it.
Okay.
Can I help him any, or disadvantage the other me?
We'll resolve this, and then we'll go to Tess.
Okay.
Don't worry.
3. Only 3 successes.
So you do that familiar thing where there's that lurch of speed where you fall back onto your predatory instinct and you move like a blur. And you actually succeed in grabbing Tess and start rushing down the corridor. But as you do, you are essentially choke slammed by this thing as it just smashes out an arm. Once again, grabs you by the throat, and this time is going to... Let me see. Jesus Christ. Seizes you by the neck and smashes you out of the window.
Yeah, so Toff just goes tumbling out the window.
You are 10 stories up and you fall, lights around you like a blur. And smash, you land on top of a dumpster. You've fallen down into an alleyway, and there's a cracking sound as you, I'm afraid, are knocked into torpor from the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out like a light. Tess, you'll go.
Shoot, can I jump out of the window after Toff?
You can try.
I'm gonna try, because I'm not beating this thing at all. There's no chance. Not if Toff isn't faster or stronger.
Okay, well, I'm afraid you're going to have to make some kind of roll to try and escape because it's actively trying to stop you from doing
Okay.
so.
It's probably going to be dexterity, and I guess athletics if I'm running. Okay, let's try a different die. I just have no chance.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to spend a blood point because right now I'm taking -2 to my die pool because I'm injured.
Yes, because you're mauled, I think.
Yes, I'm mauled. The next step up is crippled, which is a -5. So I don't want to get crippled. So I'm going to use a blood point to get those 2 dice back. Okay. Oh. No, dang it. 2.
This thing, you try to hurl yourself towards the window, but once again, this thing moves almost like it knows you. It's almost like it understands exactly what you're going to do next, and it seizes you once again. This thing likes to grab hold of things and then wreck them. And what it does is it just grabs you basically by the front of whatever you're wearing, just lifts you up into the air and just slams you once, twice, 3 times into the floor. The ground beneath you is cracking as you take another 4 points of bludgeoning. 8, but 4.
I take 4 more points. That puts me like off the chart.
I think that puts her in Topar too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh gosh, this is so bad.
The last thing that you see is just the lights like in your eyes as your head is just being smashed against the ground once, twice, and bam! And the last time all you see is darkness. We cut across town. And we see the secret establishment known as Ecstasy. Secret to everyone apart from those in the know. Siegfried, Donncha, you are face to face with a Nosferatu who is just stepped forward out of the shadows, and he says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, you're the famous Jeremiah.
I make it my business not to be famous.
Well, in some circles, certainly. It's a particular friend we have in common who's just sent me here to have a quick look and see if I could have a word with you.
Perhaps we should speak in the office, if you would like to come with me.
Certainly, thank you.
He turns around and he gives you this look. He doesn't appear to be the most friendly individual, but he leads you through this room. As you remember, this room is sort of on all the walls and the sides of the room. There are beds where essentially people are being feasted upon to attain that euphoric feeling that humans get when being fed on by vampires. You walk past a number of them. One of them is sort of just smiling, sort of just in a dazed state as his life force is being gradually drained to the point that you think might be safe. You go up a short staircase and open here. Jeremiah opens his office and goes and stands behind like what looks to be like an old battered desk, and he sits back in a squeaking reclining seat. He picks up a cigarette that is half smoked and is just resting in the ashtray and gives it a huge draw and then puts it back down, and he says, "Can I offer you something?"
Donncha looks at Siegfried.
No, thanks.
Fine, thank you.
Straight to the point then. Why are you here?
You're an associate of Feig's?
I am decidedly not an associate of Feig's.
Well, he's under the impression that you have wronged him, slighted him in some way.
Wronged him, slighted him. Is that what he's saying? Well, that's very interesting. All I did was I upped shop and I moved out of Down Street. I want independence from our kind. Feig seems to believe that I owe him some sort of percentage, and I refuse. I've built all of this, and he gestures, off my own back, and I do not see why I am indebted to him. Not anymore.
Jeremiah, you seem like a businessman, and I can tell that you're a man of taste. It seems to me, and I'm new to this, but it seems to me that there is a very clear sort of hierarchy where shit rolls downhill and money rolls uphill. That's what I'm getting so far. Now Feig, from what I understand, is very old and very powerful. Seems to be possibly the oldest vampire in this city.
Yeah, so he says.
Right, so he says. Let's suppose that's true. Or let's suppose he's only the 5th most ancient vampire in this city. Do you think that's the person you should make an enemy of?
An enemy of? He's the primogen of our kind, that's true. But he should be looking out for us, not taking a percentage from us. I would have thought you would appreciate that. But then again, you do smell a little green to me. How long has it been?
It's been long enough for me to get an understanding of what this world is like, I think. The thing is, if you were the primogen of the Nosferatu, which you're decidedly not, but if you were, let's say, do you think that you would be asking for a percentage?
I don't talk in what ifs and what could be's.
I see. And do you ask of a percentage of those who work for you now?
I pay who work for me.
See. And how many years did you spend at Down Street? And how many of those years did Feig look out for you? And did he provide for you? And did he give you somewhere to stay? And did he teach you the ways of the night? I wonder how many days that was and how he paid you in that manner.
You're saying because I was living there, that he taught me, that then means that I'm indebted to him somehow? Tell me something. Did you choose this way of life?
No, if I was choosing, I would be what he is, and he points at Siegfried. This is not the choice I would have made, but it's the hand I've been dealt. And I can see which way the wind is blowing. I can smell what's going on here. And it seems to me that you don't want to make Feig angry. He seems a little unstable, to be honest, Jeremiah. I don't know him well. I've only just met him. But he seems like the kind of person who's from a different world. Might be from the Middle Ages, when they did things very differently. And when punishments weren't a slap on the wrist or a fine, they were brutal beheadings and impalings. That's what I get from him.
How astute of you. You, and he looks over at you, Siegfried. You don't look like you belong in a place like this.
I don't necessarily feel like I belong in a place like this either, but similar to him, he points to Donncha. This is the hand that I've been dealt, and now I'm here. I do have a question for you, though. Earlier, just a bit, you said you didn't owe Feig anything, not anymore. What do you mean, not anymore? You used to owe him something? What changed?
I don't know exactly how new you are, but I'm quite sure you have figured out that we live a very long time, almost indefinitely. Am I to just bend my knee to him to the rest of time until we're all dust? I had served with him, and I had been a loyal supporter of him. But then where do you draw the line? 10 years, 50, 100? How long must I be indebted to someone? Would you be?
I guess that would depend on the severity of which they helped you. The more gracious the assistance, or the more dire the threat that was prevented, the more you'd owe. I don't know what your situation is, so it's hard for me to guess.
There's a saying that the blood of the covenant is thicker than water, and it seems that there's a definite covenant between you and Feig, and that he has maybe shown you how to live in this night, like he's showing me. And I imagine like he's shown basically every one of our kind in this city for perhaps hundreds of years. What I'm saying is he's probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon. He'll probably be there for a very long time.
Will he?
That's interesting, Jeremiah, because that seems like a threat.
Tell me something. What was it, Mr.
Leech?
Mr. Leech, let me tell you something. Or rather, you tell me something. What exactly did he send you here to do? What kind of position do you believe to be in? I have those loyal to me outside. And from what I can tell from you, you are both incredibly young. Too young to be dealing with the likes of me. What was his purpose in sending you here? What did he say for you to do?
So it's clear to me, and I hope to you, that there's no intention of harm here from me or my associate. We're not idiots. You can see that you are more powerful and certainly better equipped here with all of your people with you. There's no intention of harm that would be suicidal. Simply came here to have a chat and to have a little discussion about what's happened. Faye is curious as to what the situation is and as to why you have stopped giving your support.
The situation is clear. I no longer wish to pay any dividends to him. I have lived a long time, and I'm done giving anything to anyone.
I understand. Thank you for your time, Jeremiah. It's been enlightening, and I'll bring that message to Faye.
See that you do.
And I'll stand.
He stands too.
Yeah. I'll do the same.
It's nothing personal. I know what it's like to be a lackey.
Nothing personal on my end either. Seems to have a nice thing going here. Oh, I did have a question. That I don't know what his name was. Very kind of spooky fella.
Vincent.
Yes. What the fuck is his deal? What's going on there?
The Tremere are peculiar in their ways.
Right.
Well, some of them.
I think he tried to do something to me. I would maybe, it's fairly rude.
It's just his way of saying hello.
Right. Thanks, Jeremiah. Have a pleasant evening.
And he just watches as you leave the office. You walk down those stairs and you pass through the chamber, of which candles flicker, and you can see the crimson blackness of blood just dripping gently from different beds.
Are there any, before I leave the office, if I have a quick look around the office, is there a computer? And beyond that, are there any loose bits of paper lying around that might have anything written on them? Because Donncha has, since he's become a vampire, an eidetic memory, so he can basically remember things exactly. So he would do a quick scan of the office for anything he thinks might be useful, little bits of writing on bits of paper or codes or anything like that. Or even books and stuff that are around. And once he's done that, he would nod and then leave.
Definitely, yeah. One thing that you're able to pick up that stands out is that it would appear that he has an appointment later this evening.
Okay.
But it doesn't say who he's meeting or anything.
Sure, yeah.
But you see on a calendar or something like that. You're making your way back down to where the Cirque du Soir is, but as you're about to get to that spiral iron staircase, Vincent, the vampire who's incredibly pale even for a vampire with long, straight black hair and a deep red suit, is standing in your way, and he says, "Leaving so soon?"
Yeah, unfortunately, endless toil.
It doesn't have to be this way. And he looks at you, Siegfried, and he says, "There are some that are suited to toil."
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means that perhaps you shouldn't be doing all of the work. I have a proposition for you both if you would care to hear it.
Siegfried would kind of like give a look over to Donncha and then just no harm in hearing it out, I guess.
Yeah, he would nod.
If you would like to come with me. And he starts walking down the stairs, and he's basically going to walk down the stairs and through the main sort of public area where there are humans like enjoying the show. There's still the fire breathers, there's still the snake charmers. And he goes to go outside. So if there's anything else you want to do whilst you're in here, please say.
Yeah, I think Siegfried would just kind of give Donncha this look of like, why is everybody that we talk to like so vague and crazy?
No.
But yeah, but otherwise would follow.
In this sort of outside area where the people are being fed on and stuff, Donncha would have a quick look around as well for a computer screen, anything like that. And he would look around for like if there's anyone, if there's much security. Like there's lots of vampires here, which is something. But is there like one who's not feeding? Someone with a sort of sheriff-esque vibe, somebody who's just standing and watching. He'd have a quick look around for that.
There is notably no security that you can see other than the odd camera in the corner, just like a nightclub would have, I guess.
Yeah.
Like nothing ridiculous.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll follow that creep.
So he sweeps outside, and he basically goes to the side of the street, and he gives a black limo pulls up, and he opens the door, and he basically gestures to you to get inside.
Vincent, where does this limo go?
It'll go anywhere we please. The night is open to us, brothers.
More specifically, where will it go when we get in?
We're going to drive around until I tell you what I want to tell you, and then you make your decision, and then I will let you out. It is to ensure that we evade prying eyes and deft ears. Our kind have significant advantages when it comes to both of those things, as I'm sure you're beginning to become aware of.
So Donncha's like looking at this guy, and he's like nodding, like, "Yep, that's yeah." And he'll just like look at Siegfried for a second, and then like try not to laugh. All right, let's hear it.
Sure.
In you pop.
So, Rob, Jeremiah called him a Tremere. Do I know anything about that? Were we told about these guys or no?
You've not really heard anything about the Tremere, no.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Siegfried would give one last unsure look to Donncha, and unless there was a sudden change of heart or a change of disposition, he would just kind of like slide his way into the seat of the limo.
And he climbs in after you, closes the door, and he goes, "Drive on!" And the limo begins to move, and he basically opens up like a fridge that's like next to him in the limo, and like takes out like a bottle of champagne and pops it, and the cork just bounces around the inside of the limo, and he says, "Drink, Tess." Your eyes slowly crack open. The first thing that you're aware of is that your head is like spinning and you have the worst headache imaginable. And the first thing that you see are the dead eyes of Nose Job Judy. You realize that she is dead and being held above you as her blood pours from her open throat into your mouth.
Rob, I will interrupt you briefly to say I don't think mechanically that will work because of being a Ventru. And the particularity that Ventrus have.
Oh, you'll throw up blood, right?
This is still gonna be enough to wake you up.
It'll be enough to wake me.
Sustain you. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you see.
Yeah. Tess like starts coughing and no. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
The body of Nose Job Judy is sort of pulled away from you and just cast aside like a rag doll. This creature is just looking down upon you and it says, "What are you?"
I could ask you the same thing.
You look around and you see that you first of all feel incredibly cold. There's like quite a breeze sort of blowing through wherever you are. And it takes a moment or two for you to realize that you're actually on the roof.
I know what I am. I don't know what you are. You're stronger and faster than Toff, which I don't think I've seen anyone do that. Where's Toff?
You have something that belongs to me.
And I think it would be the other way around. You seem to be living my life and doing my job.
It's my life.
Okay, no. No more singing. That is too much tonight, okay? It's just too much.
You're going to answer my questions or I'm going to throw you off this building.
Answer mine first.
I don't think you understand the game we're playing.
Fine, throw me off. If I tell you, I might be dead anyways.
It grabs you and is going to drag you towards the edge of the roof. Is there anything you wish to do?
Can I grab on and hold something? Do I have my phone? Is there anything? Could I shine a light at her face and stun her? I don't know.
I'll say you'll have your phone. Your phone will be in your jacket pocket, I'll say. And you can grab onto something if you wish. You can do whatever you want to do. Tell me, and I'll facilitate.
Okay, if she's actually gonna start dragging me away. Wait. Okay. And I would like to try and keep her occupied as I'm just kind of babbling on, not giving her any information, while I am simultaneously texting Donncha and Mr. G and Toff and Siegfried. I'm putting them all just in a group text. And I'm trying to keep her from noticing that.
So
I've got manipulation and subterfuge.
Yeah, you can do that to see if you can stealthily blind text, essentially, when you try and make a text message, but you're not looking at your phone. That's something that I've tried before. I don't know whether many people do that, but I try and see if I can actually type something out on my phone without looking at it.
Oh, come on. Dice be kind. Dice be kind. Okay, so that's 4 successes.
From what you can tell, you managed to send the text unnoticed. But you, I'm going to say, are only able to text. Shall I be mean? Yeah, I'm going to be mean. You're only going to allowed to text 3 words.
Only 3 words. Office help now.
And you're steadily being dragged towards the edge of the roof.
All right, I'll stop.
And we will cut from there. Lionel, this is the opportunity, really. Like, I can either have, we can either go to you, or, I mean, this could be, to those of you watching, Lionel's only going to be with us for a brief moment. So, do you want us to leave him there, or like, is there anything, like, I don't know how much longer you can play, to be honest, and I didn't want to like leave you doing nothing. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think it's fine if Toff is, because if he's in Topor, I mean, there's really nothing he can do. Someone has to bring him out of that, or time has to pass, and it's not going to be a night. It's going to be several weeks before he comes out of that. So I am perfectly fine with that. I want to wish my fellow players good luck, and I hope that I don't burn away in a dumpster.
I'll save you.
We'll see, won't we? Will they find him? Well, thank you very much for jumping.
But I'll be listening
gosh.
on the way.
We have to find Toff before dawn.
Yep.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, sun is not very friendly to us vampires. But anyways, guys, best of luck. Rob, I loved it. I loved being tossed out of a window. That was great.
Well, let's hope we don't have a new vampire back in the next session. Hopefully you'll be coming back to play and you'll still be tough, but we will find out.
Guys.
Take it easy, man.
All right.
Bye, Lionel.
I just wanted to address that now because I was like, if we're not going to go back to him, then, you know, so somewhere down there, Toff, we cut to Donncha and Siegfried. We're going to have a little bit of a conversation before the text arrives, though. You are seemingly being driven around London, at least the center of London, in this limo. And he appears to be just looking out of the tinted windows, sipping upon champagne.
I think like Donncha's like sitting there and he's waiting for Vincent to talk. And he's like looking occasionally like sideways at Siegfried, just like side glance, and then back at this. He doesn't want to take his eyes off Vincent for too long. There's something about him that's weird. He's already tried something weird with Donncha, so he doesn't feel safe. And so he's waiting and watching for any sort of weird movements that Vincent might do to like take over his brain. So he's kind of just like watching. He's got his like, he's literally twiddling his thumbs, like sitting in the car seat. Vincent.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just the night lights. Sometimes I become mesmerized by them. To business, the establishment, the Cirque du Soir, otherwise known as Ecstasy, as you saw, it is quite a place to visit. It is rife with opportunity, wouldn't you say?
It certainly seems like quite an establishment. I can certainly say that much.
It's really something.
Just between you and myself, why did Feig send you to him?
That is between Feig and Jeremiah, I'm afraid.
That is exactly the answer I wish to hear. Good. I would like to maintain that sort of relationship between the two of you and myself.
Well, I mean,
what did you have in mind?
Feig is not the only vampire of high ranking that is, shall we say, out of sorts when it comes to Jeremiah's independence with ecstasy. It is a business that I have helped him curate. However, I feel I would be much more suited to the task that he is currently fulfilling. What would you both say if I offered you the opportunity of becoming involved with ecstasy under new management? And he gives you a smile.
I have some questions in regards to the legality of such an establishment in relation to the masquerade.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. And he smiles. It is all above board. Those that enter ecstasy, those who walk in the day, those who are not of our kind, understand that when they enter those doors, they are going to witness dreams, the likes of which they have never known. But the cost is that we do not reveal the secret of how it is achieved. I assure you, only the most influential clientele are allowed through those doors. Ones that would not want to see such effects be taken from their recreational time.
But how long is it until someone writes a blog post or takes a photograph or something like that?
Tell me, have you ever heard of a blog being made about such a thing as our kind, and them A, being believed, or B, surviving?
No.
There we are then. Now, would you be interested in such an enterprise?
Well, we'd have to understand the terms, of course, of what this agreement would entail. What, of course, we'd be required to do, both now and going forward, and what such relationship bring about before I can agree to anything.
There's also the matter of myself being in service to Fake. He's he's an ancestor of mine, I suppose you could say. And I don't want one of my first actions in this dark world to be, the breaking of my word to someone like Fig.
I'm not asking you to break your word with Fag. He is a respectable gentleman. From the encounters that I have had with him, they have not been many, but yes, I understand what you mean. What I am offering is very simple. If you are to aid me in, shall we say, the early retirement of Jeremiah, then you will be... Well, I shall look upon you favorably when divvying up a cut from all revenue made at Ecstasy. And of course, the opportunity of having free meals.
That sounds very interesting, although cannot really make a deal on something so vague as I shall look upon you favorably. I would need specifics.
Do you know a lawyer?
I do, yes.
I'll be more than happy for you to draw up a contract. I am not in any way trying to manipulate you.
No, I wouldn't think so either, but it's for the best of everyone, I think, that these things are made clear from the get-go, so there's no hurt feelings or confusion down the road. especially if we're going to be business partners for what ostensibly may be eternity.
I understand. Do not fear. As I said, most would look favorably upon the removal of Jeremiah. It would seem Faig is one of them, and I can tell you as a certainty that there are many more that wish the same.
And yet, he is in charge of that establishment. Somehow he's done that. So someone must be backing him from other clans who would probably be not so happy.
He is independent. His claim to remain independent of Downstreet is exactly his attitude that he shares with the Camarilla. This is why he's become a thorn in the side of many. It is why a Nosferatu primogen, I'm sure, has involved himself in such an affair. But by all means, there is no time scale, although I would prefer your actions to be swift rather than steady. But I will be content to meet with you another time. We can draw up a contract. We can ensure that you are content. Money is not the thing that interests me in this venture, so I will be incredibly generous with its distribution, shall we say.
What then?
What does you in this venture?
Yep.
Well, I'm very glad you asked. My kind are somewhat intrigued with the finer details of that which sustains us all. Blood, yes. It is something that our kind look upon in a different way, a way that it can be manipulated. Ecstasy would be an ideal opportunity for one of my kind.
Like a scientific sort of endeavor?
There is a science to it, I can assure you. Thaumaturgy, or blood magic, as it is colloquially known as.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you said blood magic.
Is it really so hard to believe, Mr. Leech? You have abilities. You are able to walk unseen. You're able to speak with base creatures. Is it really so strange to believe that such a powerful force that grants all of us these gifts cannot be manipulated? As I said, colloquially known as blood magic, for those of who aren't, shall we say, intimate with the details.
Can I learn it?
There are those who can, and there are those that try.
But it is possible. It's not something that's only your clan can do.
We have significant advantages.
He like sits back in the limo and he's like trying to think about. And it makes sense. Like, yeah, he's been turned into a vampire. Of course, there's blood magic. But when he heard the word magic, he was just like, "That's dumb. That doesn't make any sense." He's kind of like nodding slowly. I think that we could work together. I think if you'll give us a couple of nights to discuss with our lawyer and to make a final decision.
Yes, I think I'd be happy to schedule another appointment to discuss some finer details here. It's an interesting idea.
That is delightful to hear. do be in touch with your lawyer friend, and we shall meet and come up with an arrangement. And of course, we will also have to devise a plan to dethrone Jeremiah from ecstasy. It all sounds incredibly poetic. I'm sure you approve. He shoots at you, Siegfried.
And how might we get in touch for such an arrangement when the time comes?
Here's my card. And he just flips like a business card, metal case open. And as he opens it, it's one of those ones that flips a card up for you to be able to take easily. You see that it is embossed with red lettering. Vincent.
Yep, Siegfried will. Yeah, Siegfried will snatch a card out of the case, kind of stow it away in his wallet, and just kind of give a look to Donncha, like, I guess this is happening.
Yep.
Is there anywhere you need dropping? A text arrives upon your phones. It is a group message. What does it say again, Tess? 3 words?
I think it was help office now.
Help office now shows up on your phone.
There is somewhere we need to be as quickly as possible, actually, Vincent, if you could make it the offices of, oh, fuck me.
Eidetic memory, you remember.
Yeah. Donncha would.
You absolutely do. And Vincent says, oh, is it an emergency?
It is. In fact, this might be a good way to start off our partnership, Vincent. You seem like a person who's capable. If you were maybe to help us with this, it would definitely speed along the contract negotiations.
I'm afraid I have other business tonight, but I'd be more than happy to give you a lift.
All right. Thank you. Quick as you can.
You will be
Thank you.
very pleased with my driver, Reginald. He is most swift. Reginald! And he gives the address of the lawyer firm, and the limo basically starts turning around in the street in that agonizing way that limos do, because it's difficult to drive them. And very soon you are driving towards that location. Our vision moves up across the other side of the center of London, so not that far. Tess, you are being dragged towards the edge of the building.
Yeah. So she is just blabbering on. Tell me what you already know, and then I can tell you what I can tell you. You have to understand that there are reasons, there are rules.
Reasons and rules. I was warned about you. I was warned that you might come slithering out of the dark.
By
I was
whom?
told to be ready.
Who warned you?
People that care about me. People that look out for me. I don't know what you are, but I can tell there's something wrong about you.
Oh, really? Really? Says the woman who, no offense, ain't a pretty picture, and lifted me up like I weighed nothing. You think there's something wrong with me?
You not only weigh nothing, you are nothing. You are a pale imitation, and I will see you dealt with. And at that point, this creature just drags you to the point where the top half of you is dangling over the edge of the building.
Oh, God help me, why am I such a rule follower? I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Where did you come from?
I came from downstairs.
Downstairs. Then I shall return you there.
By elevator, if you don't mind.
The creature is looking at you, and you can see there's a hesitation. There's a hesitation to its wanting to drop you off a building, put it that way, and it doesn't. I should wait. I should wait to hear what they say.
What who says? Who is it that cares about you?
I was warned about you, and instead this creature sort of lifts you up once again just by your clothing and just hurls you away from the edge, and you slam into the ground, sliding across the roof. Now, what did I have to do? My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. Yes, they're coming. They're coming to get you.
Tess is probably 40 feet away from this thing at this point, and air forced out of her lungs. Not that there was a lot left to begin, but she's just... Who's coming?
You then hear a sound from the distance. And you see upon the horizon a helicopter moving towards the building. I believe your carriage awaits.
Winchester.
We cut back to the limo. Reginald is driving as well as he can, but London isn't the best place to drive about. It isn't easy to get about, particularly in a limo. It's probably the worst car of choice, to be honest. Vincent is sort of looking amused as he's watching you both. What are you doing whilst you're in the limo, like on the way?
Are we stuck in traffic?
Yeah, a little bit.
How far are we from the office?
Half a mile.
Okay. I know that Siegfried can get there very quickly. Definitely quicker than sitting in traffic. And if I run, I'll be able to do the same. So I'll just like politely smile at Vincent and say, so generous of you to drive us, but we're really in quite a hurry. So we're going to get out and run.
Oh, well, no, it's no trouble at all. We can have another drink.
There's really no time.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Reginald, would you be a darling and open the door? They see the click. You see the door had been locked. It opens.
Thanks very much. We'll be in touch. And he'll like open the door and we'll run.
See that you are.
Yeah, Siegfried would just nod and follow Donncha out the door.
So, in the business of getting across town as quickly as you can, what abilities are you going to be using? Do you have celerity, Siegfried?
I actually have 2 dots in celerity.
Ooh. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Siegfried is mega quick.
Town. Now, it's up to you. Are you going to basically run ahead, or are you going to sort of remain at sort of Donncha's pace, or do you want to arrive beforehand?
I think Siegfried would probably ask, I can get there ahead of you, but I don't know if that's a good idea. What do you think?
Go, 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 go. I'll be as quick as I can.
Okay. All right. With that, Siegfried will book it. Just go on full.
Yeah, you rush as fast as you can, trying your best to recall the area that Tess was talking about, where the offices were. I mean, I'm guessing Donncha would probably have told you where it was if you didn't, with his memory being as perfect as it is. You find yourself.
Imagine I pulled it up on maps.
Yeah. You pulled it up on maps, and damn, I love playing the modern day. And you you find yourself rushing down one street in the next. A question for you. You do not move with the subterfuge that Donncha does. So are you going to be just belting it through the streets, or are you going to be going in secret ways or back alleyways and stuff like that?
So I guess the question of that would be, is celerity such an improvement to speed that if somebody were to see me running full speed, it would be like, what the hell? Like, how is that? Like, is it that fast? Because Siegfried would be worried about being visible. If it was going to be alarming with how fast he was moving.
I think you're probably going to be kind of just like a blur, but a visible
Wait,
blur.
I have an idea. Donncha would say before you leave, he would like grab you. Wait. Is there like a lamppost anywhere near here with a bike like chained to it?
Yeah, it's the center of London. There's loads of different bike racks where people lock their bikes at night.
Great. I'm going to go over to one and just rip the chain off. And then he'll say, you cycle, I'll get on the back. And then that'll be like the quickest way to do it. We can both use celerity.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
Siegfried will do that.
I'm not going to make you roll because that's just excellent. You basically, with this unnatural speed, start belting through London at the speed of like a motorbike, but on a bicycle. That's insane. You can hear the gears just going crazy, sort of racking against the frame of the bike as you just belt it through the streets, and you come to sort of a skidding stop. There's this huge sort of plaza out the front of the office building, and it reaches into the sky. You can see it's flanked by two other office buildings with an alleyway on each side that you imagine goes around the back. And you look up and you see a helicopter sort of flying over you. It looks to be it looks like a Chinook. It has two rotors, essentially, like it is military grade, and it is swooping around to the top of the building. Tess, you're looking up. You are crippled at this point. So you're only really going to be able to drag yourself around and stuff as you see this helicopter basically swoop over you, and it goes to land on the building on the opposite side of where you are.
Okay, can I be dragging myself towards an edge? Because Tess would rather throw herself over than she suspects this is Winchester.
Yeah, you're able to drag yourself to the edge, and you basically pull your weight over, but then something seizes you and lifts you up into the air. This replica of you just looking at you with those button eyes, and it says, "You don't want to miss this appointment." And it just casts you back onto the floor like you're a rag doll as the helicopter lands, and you can see the back of it slowly opening. And it is there we're going to take a short break. Guys, grab yourself a drink and yeah, be ready for the next section. For those of you watching, I see we have a few people watching. Thank you ever so much for dropping by. And for those of you after the fact, thank you also. What would you do if you're playing this game and you're in this situation up against a terrifying force that is essentially keeping you where you don't want to be?
There are no good answers.
Not any good answers. It's terrifying. Powerful enemies in the world of darkness. Anyway, see you in 5. I'm back. Let's see. We have Nico's in the chat. Richard Henderson, how's it going, man? Thanks for the comments on the videos. I've seen Richard has been enjoying the game. Bob. Yeah, Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, huh?
I wanted to make Bon Jovi
Bon
scary.
Jovi.
Scarier than it already is.
Like, if that was just a normal person singing Bon Jovi, I'd already be worried.
Yeah, definitely. You'd be like, there's something wrong with me. But it's something about the lyrics. It's my life.
Yeah.
My life. Oh, and I changed the lyric to I am going to live forever.
I am gonna live. I saw that, yeah. Good.
It's a shame Lionel had to go, but at the same time, it is quite dramatic that he just got chucked out of a window.
If there was going to be a way that you were going to miss the rest of a session, that would be the way, is to just get utterly destroyed and just completely destroyed.
Like that, there wasn't really much of a. If both of them had like attacked and done pretty well, then it might have gone a different way. But this thing you're going up against is pretty strong, very strong.
Pretty strong. Pretty strong.
You
No.
don't say.
It's only average. It's not like it's not that bad. There are far worse. There are far worse things that could be happening to you. Let me assure you. Okay, are we all ready to go? Are we ready to continue?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Siegfried, Donncha, the bike basically falls apart as you sort of stop on this plaza, looking up at, and you see that this Chinook is essentially landing on the top of the building. What do you do?
Yeah, Siegfried just looks over. He's like, oh God, that's not good.
It's got to be Winchester, right? It has to be.
I don't see any other option.
All right, he pulls out his phone. And he's going to call Mr. G.
It just goes, vroom, 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 and it rings for a little while, and then what is it?
You have to look into Winchester. They are at the offices of insert name right now. We need help. Or they're going to take Tess.
You are certain of this?
No.
Then why are you ringing me if you're uncertain?
Because I haven't gone up to the roof yet where the enormous military helicopter is that has come to find our vampire friend.
Enormous military helicopter. I see. Well, fall back. Do not engage.
We can't leave her there.
Why?
But because she's our friend.
You will learn very soon that having such attachments only weakens you.
So you won't send help?
Do not engage them. They will kill you.
He'll hang up.
Okay.
I don't have a number for Fag, do I?
You never asked for one, but like if you think that there was for some reason that you might, then I would allow it. Like I don't mind.
I mean, it struck me that he might not even have a phone.
He doesn't have a phone. No, you're right. He doesn't have a phone.
Was there not one in his office?
It's probably decorative.
Yeah. It's probably not even plugged into anything.
Yeah. He just walks around holding it, Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run into the building.
Yep. You dash into the building. Siegfried, what are you doing?
Yeah. Siegfried will follow as he is. He's just kind of yell ahead like, what? Like, because he just saw him pick up the phone, call, and start talking, and like, what was that? What was that? Who was that? What did he say?
Mr. Gisborne's not sending any help. He told us not to go in there, to let her get taken.
So, you're rushing into the building, and you can see, well, the doors are locked, first of all. You can see that it has 2 automatic doors on either side, and it has one of those rotation doors as well, but you can see it's been sealed up and locked. You can see one light is on in the atrium, and there is a security guard at a desk. Sort of wondering what the noise is like from the look of it. While you consider
there's got to be another way, like a fire escape, something that we can get to.
Okay, yes. You go this way, I'll go this way, and we'll just like look at the front of the building for anywhere.
Yeah, zoo up perimeter of the building.
Yep, so both of you sort of go on either side and go into each alleyway on either side of the building. We move up to the top. The Chinook's rotors are continually spinning; they don't stop. But the ramp that comes down at the back of the Chinook opens up, and a number of figures in military-grade armoring, Kevlar, and equipment sweep out. Tess, you see the familiar green lights of their infrared and whatever kind of vision they have, goggles activate as they sweep onto the building. A number of rifles in their hands, all of them pointed at you. And one figure is stood behind them. Appears to have sort of like a long army kind of duster. Has those goggles, but is on the top of his head, a completely bald head. This man has a face like a sledgehammer. He has an eye patch, and he sort of leisurely walks down the ramp and starts walking towards you, Tess.
So once Tess has landed again and she sees this helicopter coming down, I would like to, and I'll roll subterfuge or something for it. I want to have my phone out and I want to be recording this, but you know how you can open it up in a text first, and then as soon as you finish recording, it sends it? I'm sending this to Donncha. Like he's the tech person. He'll know what to do with it and who to give it to if all else fails.
Yeah, you're able to do that, but you see that a number of them are already approaching you, while 6 of them have rifles upon you. 4 of them move forward. You can see in their hands they have these sort of binders, metal reinforced binders. There appears to be some kind of, as they open them, as if they're kind of magnetized almost, and they're approaching to essentially manacle you. The man with the bald head walks straight past you towards this creature that looks like you, and he puts a hand up to its cheek, and he says, "You are wonderful." And the creature says, "I just wanted what was mine." And the figure says, "Yeah, you have that now. You go on and live your life, and if you need anything, you know where I am." And the creature just looks down at you one more time, Tess, and gives the broadest smile with this stitched mouth, and you can see that the seams begin to tear. The smile becomes so wide and so horrific and so open to you. You're basically being manacled and then dragged towards the helicopter, unless there's anything you want to do. One of them will see that your phone is in your hand if you don't make another sort of sleight of hand thing.
Yeah, I'll try and slide it into my pocket if I can.
Yeah. Okay. Which pocket?
Probably my coat pocket. It's gonna be the biggest one. Women's clothes don't have big pockets.
Okay, so you're able. Do you want to give me a sleight of hand just to see if you can do that without them noticing? So I say sleight of hand. This isn't 5e. Subterfuge and whatever the other one was. I can't remember.
Manipulation?
Sure. Whatever.
Okay. I've got 4 successes, 5. That one's a crit though. Okay, so 5.
5. Let me see. I'll just do a general roll. You're able to store the phone in a way that you're pretty confident that it will be able to continue recording and it won't be muffled too much. It will pick up the sound, maybe even a glint of what you're actually seeing. As they manacle you and begin brutally dragging you into the Chinook. Essentially, you're being dragged up this metal ramp and thrown into it. Essentially,
Tess is screaming top of her lungs, hoping that anybody might notice, hear, intervene.
It's almost like your screams are being lost because of the Chinook's rotors are still like blasting all across the top of this roof. Like it's a loud, really loud helicopter. The guy with the bald head basically just smiles at this creature one last time and he says, "Get back to work." And the creature sort of begins loping towards the fire escape that it had come up to the roof. Donncha, Siegfried, what are you doing? You're outside looking at the security guard through the window, I guess.
Well, we had started to run around the building to try to find like a fire escape.
Oh yeah, of course you did. I apologize. So you're going around either side of the alleyways. Let me just bring up the character sheet quickly, just so I can double check. I would like you to give me a alertness perception, please. Both of you.
It's going to be 2 for me.
3 for me.
Donncha, you just spot something. You essentially go round to the back of the building and you can see that there's a fire escape. But then you can also see that the alleyway is lined with dumpsters and, like there's just loads of crap in this alleyway, right? It's obviously where people like put the rubbish and stuff like that. But you can see out the side of one of this dumpster, it's just a broken arm that's hanging like that over the edge of the dumpster.
I will definitely go and look at that. Did I also get the message from Tess?
Doesn't it only send once you finish recording? You can't or are you on like a live, like FaceTime Tess?
I think it usually finishes recording like when you let go, but I don't remember.
Well, I didn't know what you were doing. Like, I just assumed you were like making a video, which would then send via text once you'd finished filming. Like,
that was the idea.
Oh, okay. If you'd rather it could be like FaceTime, so it would be like a live thing, it's up to you.
Yeah, sure. If we can do live, that would be even better.
It'd probably be the quickest way to do it rather than you so I'll allow you to have done that then. So you see this arm and you look over and you see in the dumpster, absolutely wrecked, barely recognizable, is the lifeless form of Toff, broken.
he like puts his hand to his forehead, like fuck. He'll take out his phone to call Siegfried.
Boo, boo. That noise when someone wants to FaceTime you is coming up on your phone.
Yeah, I'll do it.
A cacophony of sound meets your ears, like, and you can see on the image, you can basically just see like half of it, like obscured by Tess's pocket. You can see, basically a number of people surrounding where Tess is. So, like, if her pocket is like in the front part of her jacket, perhaps you can see them dragging her into the helicopter.
Fuck. I'll like screenshot the shit out of like every second of the feed. So I'll just be like hammering those buttons and taking like constant screenshots all the way through. I won't say anything because I figured that it'll come out on the other side. I'll just like do that and like look and like watch and see if I can like get an like it's obviously a helicopter. See how many there are. I guess I can see enough that I would think it's not wise to go there.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them up there from what you can tell. And then the last thing I think you're going to see of the video core is this bold individual sort of step over Tess. And in one hand, he has a stake and is just looking down with an eye patch over his eye. And you see him just go... and the stake, you can imagine, goes into the phone in an attempt to get your heart here.
Can I ask a quick question? You know the way often military organizations will have like a surname emblazoned across like the left chest pocket? Is there a surname?
Yes, there's it just says Staser. Stazer. Staser.
Yeah, I screenshot the unbelievable shit out of that. And I guess the connection ends then.
It does. Tess, you don't feel anything. Essentially, like, it's just like everything goes black. You are looking up and you see that if you're staying in the alleyway, unless you guys are doing anything else.
Yeah, I imagine by this time Siegfried is probably, because he's a lot faster, has probably made his way around the building at this point, trying to meet to find where Donncha's been.
Oh yeah, I'm going to say that you were both there, so you were both able to see the live thing. I'd say, yeah, you're quick enough to have done that. So you will have seen that live thing from Donncha's phone. You would have seen Toff, and then you can tell that the helicopter is likely about to take off again very soon, unless you do something.
I don't know if there's anything that we can do. I'll say to Siegfried.
There's so many of them, and we'd have to make it all the way up the building, and you kind of look down at Toff and say, clearly one of them, something at least, did this.
Yeah.
Just kind of like shaking his head like...
Sid's house. Where is that? We don't know.
I don't know where his house is, but he's usually the underworld. Is that it? The pub?
World's End pub.
Toff took me there one time.
Are we closer from where we are here to Fag, to the Shard, or to Underworld?
Definitely closest to the Shard where you are at the moment. You're in the central.
Okay, that's where we're going to go then. It's like the closest place, and it's probably the only place near here that's safe.
You are looking up as you sort of determine that, and you see the chopper lift into the air and start streaking across the sky.
I'll take a bunch of pictures as it goes.
Yeah, and you can steadily hear the rotors getting quieter and quieter, and then there is nothing at all. There is just silence.
He's done. We have to go. We have to go now.
Should we take him, kind of like gesturing towards the just mangled body of Toff? Do we take it with us? Do we leave it here and bring someone back? What do we do?
We take it. We have to take it. What if someone comes by? Or we have to take it. And I'll grab it.
It's
Okay,
by
let's
you
go.
mean Toff.
Body, yeah.
Okay. He's just not showing any signs of like life. I mean, like maybe there's something instinctual that maybe that they're he's not dead maybe, but like obviously vampiric stuff. You've never seen anyone be put into torpor before. The only time you've experienced torpor before was when you woke up for the first time. Before Mr. Gisborne. So you grab Toff in whatever way that you can. Donncha, you're really strong, so that won't like be a problem for you at all. And you're able to start making your way to the shard. The journey is panicked. Are you doing anything to conceal the fact that you're carrying what looks to most people like a dead body?
I think if anyone looks, I'll be like, "You'll be okay, pal. You'll be all right. Don't worry." It happens to all of us, like as if he's too drunk.
His legs are bent in peculiar ways. Like he looks like someone who got thrown off a building.
Okay. Yep, I'll just continue doing that. People do tend to avoid looking at me whenever possible. But if anyone does look, I'll be like, "Listen, I won't say it directly to anybody, but I'll be talking to him if anyone looks. Kind of like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right."
Yeah, you that's fine. I forgot about the whole thing where people don't really look towards you so much, so there won't be that much of a problem. You're able to get to the shard fairly quickly, and you're standing before the vast tower, and you're able to go in if you like.
Yep. I imagine there's this ridiculous scene where Toff is probably like dripping black blood onto the pristine floors, and I'm like carrying over my shoulder, and then have to like go to the reception and be like, "Hello, could you buzz me into?"
Hello, someone says, just staring at you as you approach. It is just a woman, sort of middle-aged. She sat there and she appears to be like chewing gum and just staring at this scene.
It's sort of an emergency. I need to. Don't I go remember what floor we went to?
Yeah.
And he would say, "I need to go to that floor."
Name.
Donncha Leach.
She like pulls open like a sort of like a flip
Yeah,
thing.
Donn, and he'll like spell it because he always has to.
Oh, that's a strange name, she says, sort of like half to herself, half to you. Oh, is it for Mr. Gisborne?
It is, yes.
Yes, you'll find him top floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you going to clean that up? Oh, I suppose that's my job.
Yes, that's your job. Yep, that's what you're paid for. And he'll make his way towards the lift.
She gives you a fucking disgusted look, but you're gone before she can say anything. You're into the lift, and it takes you very, very swiftly to the top. It's this glass lift where you can see all of London, like as you shoot up it. And as the lift doors open, Mr. Gisborne is revealed. It looked like he was probably on his way down. And he just looks at you, his pristine peroxide blonde hair swept back. He just looks you up and down. I told you not to engage.
We didn't engage.
We didn't.
Come with me. And he walks out and down the corridor. He sweeps into a room which is his office. You've never been into Mr. Gisborne's office. It's a very peculiar looking office. It is filled with dark mahogany and rich colors. You can see artwork upon the walls, strange statuettes stand in the four corners of the room, with the vast skyline of London open before all of it in this huge window at the back. He sweeps a number of the stuff just off the desk and just grabs Toff and just slams him onto the desk. And he turns around and he says, "If you want help in bringing him back to the realm of the conscious, you're going to need to tell me exactly what happened."
We were separated. We were down at a nightclub. Tess went to her office with Toff. Something happened. We got a message from her that there was some sort of emergency happening. That is when I rang you, asking for help.
I'm sorry, her office?
Yes.
Why was she returning to her office? Do you mean the office that she worked in while she was still mortal?
Interesting information to share with you. There were emails sent from her account, and she wasn't there.
And rather than inform
Their email
me,
account had been deleted.
and rather than inform me, she decided to go with this individual. He looks at broken remains of Toff.
Yes, something went wrong, and then Winchester arrived in a huge helicopter. They grabbed her, they put her into a helicopter. I have numerous images to show you. There was a man, Staser, with an eye patch, bald. He staked her, and that's when the feed ended.
And what do you want me to do about that?
You asked us to look into Winchester. We found them.
It would seem they found you. Divided in a place where this... Oh, and he looks on his desk, looks through a number of pieces of paper. What was her name?
Tess.
Tess went to a place that she was used to work as a human being. I mean, did I not inform you that you were to several ties?
We were investigating a lead.
Why was she even using her own email? Why was she even looking into it?
Because she had only been dead for a few days and was a workaholic. We haven't all been dead for a very long time, Mr. Gisborne. Some of us were human mere days ago, and those lives still are very important to us.
I warned you. I specifically warned you to sever all ties to the life that you once knew. And now it seems that my words have fallen upon deaf ears. Allow this to be a lesson to you.
Are you going to help him?
You were assigned to investigate them. Now let's just say that you have an invested interest in getting to the bottom of this.
So there'll be no help from the Camarilla investigating these vampire hunters?
We have been conducting our own search.
Are we not part of the Camarilla? Is this not some sort of organization which all vampires are a part of? Is there no help to be had here? We're brand new.
You serve. You serve.
And what is it that we get in return for serving?
You get to exist.
I mean, that's worse than feudalism. Even serfs got protected. Slaves.
And do you know what would happen if a serf talked back?
Yes, there'd be some sort of medieval punishment.
Yes, there would. How do you intend to find her? If she's not already been ashed.
Well, I guess it won't be with the help of Camarilla. Maybe there are others who would be more forthcoming with their help.
Like who?
It's a big city. I'm sure there's lots of people.
As I said, we have conducted our own investigation. I sent you information about this. Winchester are at least funded by the government. Private cell.
Right.
Also, you gave an address of their military base, which how were we as three random newbies, as you say, hardly useful for anything according to you? What were we supposed to do with that information that you so graciously bestowed onto us?
They are only human. I told you this before.
Yet you told us not to engage, so clearly they're more than that.
So we can
They
follow.
did this to Toff.
Gravity did that to your friend.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What do you want from me?
I don't think it matters because we're not going to get it. You just seem intent on making snide comments and showing us that you are in charge here and that we serve. That's perfectly clear. If you're not going to help our friend, we'll make her leave.
There is a place that they could have potentially taken her to. If you're sure she is still alive.
How could we possibly be sure?
I would like to know that also.
They staked her. They didn't kill her. They wanted to take her. They put manacles on her. They want to take her somewhere. I imagine for research purposes. Surely that's bad for all of us.
I imagine so. I will forward you some reconnaissance. But these are only leads. They may not lead anywhere.
It's better than nothing.
I will have it with you within the hour.
What about Toff? What do we do?
It requires blood.
Can we have some?
I will ensure that he is seen to. Perhaps he knows something that you do not.
But we can't leave him here. He's with us.
I've seen how you've seen to other people. I'm not sure that I want him to be here seen by you any more than they were.
Oh, I'm sorry. You seem to be suffering under the illusion that you have a choice in the matter. That's what I thought. You will have your intelligence in an hour. In the meantime, I suggest you prepare yourselves. You're going to have to work quickly, it seems. Tess. You feel a wrench as if something is ripped from you. And gradually you open your eyes. You are in a stark white chamber. Tiles on the floors and on the walls with a black, glassy looking ceiling. There are a number of what look to be mirrors on all of the walls. And there is a chair across the far side of the room. You appear to have woken up on some kind of bed trolley, but there isn't any mattress. It's just a hard, cold metal table that essentially you've woken up upon with wheels. And across the other side of the room, upon this chair, is the bald man with the eye patch. You have awoken, it seems.
Tess tries to sit up slowly.
You absolutely can. Your arms, however, are manacled behind you. So it's a bit of an effort.
Why am I here?
He gets up and he says, "Isn't it funny?
No.
No, but it is. It is. You don't get the joke. You see, you're not here. You are living your life.
That thing is not me.
That thing is more you than you, my dear."
It has button eyes, for God's sake.
Oh, is that what it looks like to you? It's very interesting. It's got a fetch. It is what is left behind when those unfortunate enough to be dragged through the hedge are taken.
Through the... What hedge? What?
It's a long story. Involves different menace. Changelings. Not something you wish to concern yourself with, I assure you.
But people think it's me? But I'm not a cheat. God help me.
They leave behind something to ensure that anyone missing would never be missed. And I'm afraid to say, Tess, you are not going to be missed.
Fine, let me go. You won't miss me then.
We have a vested interest in keeping you here, I assure you. And I wouldn't try any of your ungodly gifts. You will find retribution will be swift.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Is that right? He takes out a gun and shoots you in the chest. Let's see if he actually hits, though.
I feel like point blank he's not going to miss.
He's not going to miss. I just want to roll to see if he critical. No, it's fine. He just shoots you in the chest, and you feel like almost like what you've been shot with is burning you slightly. That was around with half of the grams of phosphorus required to turn you into ash. The next shot, I assure you, is a fully stocked round.
Get it out, please.
In time. I'm guessing the change has been quite recent for you.
Why would you care?
We care. Oh, we care. We've seen the influence of your kind. And rather than alarm those within the public, we deign to keep the presence of your kind hidden. We play your little game because we know that some things are too much for the ordinary to handle. We bear this burden for humanity.
And then you torture people. Charming.
Do you think there's anything charming about victimizing human beings, draining them of their blood? Manipulating your way through society, causing havoc and destruction. I have the photos of what occurred within the UCL hospital, and he just throws you like a document. It slides across the white tile floor. I mean, let's see, how many dead? 15 dead in total with the chaos, including our friend Mr. Smythe. Someone we deign to leave waiting for you.
You're at least as responsible for that chaos.
We came to neutralize a threat. A threat to the lives of all who live in this world.
What do you want with me?
Oh, we want answers. We want many answers. But that will come in time. First, we need to show you our hospitality. And he just presses a button. A metal door sweeps open, and 6 of the Winchester Special Forces individuals step through. They're going to ensure that you don't hold out on us. My name is Leopold Staser. And soon you're going to look upon me as your best friend. We cut back to Donncha and Siegfried. Is there anything that you would be doing within the hour that you have to wait for all of this information to be accrued?
Yeah, I would go and try and get Fig to help.
How do you wish to do that?
I just want to talk to him and ask him a number of things, but like if there's any bodies that he can like lend us to get our friend back.
Being in the Shard, this is obviously the headquarters of the Camarilla, and as Feig is a Primogen, he is able to be contacted from the Shard. Essentially, you're given instructions to call the gutter, where the barman there will go and get him, essentially. And there is a long wait, and eventually you hear the rustling and crackling as someone picks up the phone. Hello, what do you want? Who is this?
Fig, it's Donncha.
Who?
Young Nosferatu. I met you the other day. You asked me to go and deal with something.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I remember who you are. I promise. Just a little funny joke. I'm not used to the. Just tell me, what do you want?
I can't be too specific on the phone. We have to go and take care of something. And I'm wondering if there's anyone down in Down Street who you might be able to send with us. It's to rescue our friend.
Your friend, huh?
She's in significant danger. I've also made major steps in the thing you asked me to do.
With the Jeremiah.
Yes, I think it's best to be as vague as possible on the phone.
Why?
Fig,
Why?
because I believe that the Camarilla probably have this phone bugged.
So
they will know what we're saying.
Nah, I do not care. I have no secrets.
I don't think that's true.
Well, what do you wish to do?
I don't know yet. We're going to have to go and get her from some sort of facility, I imagine.
Facility. Where is such facility?
We don't know yet. We're waiting for information from the Camarilla on where it might be. As soon as we get it, we're going to go there. And I thought with Arkine's unique ability to not get seen, it might be nice to have 1 or 2 extra helpers.
You see, I cannot just order people to come with you.
But you could ask.
Yes, I can. Who is threatened your friend, huh?
Winchester.
Ah, a name I know.
They got her. They've taken her away somewhere.
Why they not kill her, huh?
I don't know. I'm guessing that they want to study her.
Study her. That sounds strange to me.
Like they used to study anatomy. Take her apart and see how she works.
I see. I can see if I can rustle up any help for you, but I would not hold out hope.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Donncha. I've taken somewhat of a shine to you.
Good to hear.
When you have the information you require, just call the gutter.
I will. Thank you.
How do I stop this?
Just put the phone down. On the phone.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Drops on the floor.
I'll put it down.
And it is at that point we're going to take a short break because I just quickly need to go use the bathroom. So 2-minute break, guys, and then we'll go into the next and final section of the session. Is that good? Cool. Be right back.
So, Jeff, who do you hate more, Mr. G or the Stasi guy?
Probably Mr. G, just because he should be the one helping us. Like, it's easy to like hate the villain. Like, Mr. G is supposed to be the one who can and should help us, and is not.
He has ridiculous expectations and has given us no help, and then expects us to do everything perfectly with no explanation of how we should do those things. He's just like,
take down this like the superhuman paramilitary organization with crazy powers and technology that's dedicated to hunting vampires, but do it by yourselves with no information. And why didn't you already do that? Like, it's just like, what the hell?
I'm trying to imagine if we'd contacted him and said, "Oh, that's so weird. Tessa's account is email account is being used, and it looks like there's someone like her at the office." He'd have been like, So why should I care?
Why did you bother me with this? Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why don't you just figure it out?
Before this is over, I'm going to look down at his corpse and smile.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Just don't get caught.
In a bloody coup, when the anarchs rise.
Like, I feel bad for Tess.
Anarch, considering our anarch movement starter was supposed to be Toff, who's currently a mangled mess in Mr. Gisborne's possession. I'm not sure how quickly that's going to happen.
He'll be a poster boy martyr for the.
Yeah, like he's gonna be probably interrogated by the sheriff and stuff.
Toff is not really the organizational type anyway. He would be bad at running the anarchs. You know, even though they're called the anarchs, you still need somebody with like a brain to like run the organization.
You need someone that's a little bit type A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I hate that fucker. Oh my god. Made me so angry.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's so bad. Hi, Lionel. He's listening.
We're so fucked. We're just so utterly fucked.
Yeah, like this.
You guys
went from 0 to 1 million in like 2 seconds. It's like it's gonna go. You know, me and Donncha are making some connections, talking to some people, figuring some stuff out. Oh, by the way, suddenly Toff is a mangled disaster and Tess is in captivity by some crazy military. Just literally in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Any thoughts, any plans before we jump back in?
Just that Tess is going to try and just be as smartass and snarky as possible. She's not going to give them any information if at all possible.
Fuck Mr. Gisborne. That's my main call.
Oh, don't. He's nice, really.
He's a fucking
nice.
the worst.
There's been zero indication that he's nice at all. I don't want to hear it.
He's less than nice.
He's done nothing but be an asshole at every possible turn.
Okay. I think that's unfair. We will come back to our game. So, an hour goes by. And at this point, you're probably pacing. Siegfried, what have you been doing in this time?
I actually imagine probably not much. It's probably just pacing around like a maniac, just trying to like think everything over. Like, what the heck are we supposed to do? Like, Donncha called Fagin. We're probably not going to get any help there. Mr. Gisborne is clearly just going to like give us the information and then just say, okay, deal with it. And he doesn't really know what to do. Like, he doesn't many connections at this point that would be very useful or people that he would want to involve in this mess without any sort of cause. So he's just kind of left to hope that because connections can pull through, but he's not hopeful.
Yeah, so eventually you're both waiting and you're kind of like in the you're sort of like whether how the shard is set up, there's like an observation sort of level that you can be at. Say that you can be waiting there, and eventually Mr. Gisborne sweeps into the room, and he's like typing something on his phone, and he just stands there typing, just stood next to you. To you both.
Okay, well, you said you'd have information when the hour is up. What is it?
There's a 75% certainty that I know where she has been taken. Though why you would pursue such a cause is unbeknownst to me. There are a number of facilities that we have been investigating. And one of them appears to be in a warehouse, a wasted area of London on the outskirts of Brixton. A warehouse that has a number of military vehicles present. Has been reported by one of our eyes, one of the weird sisters. She says that such a helicopter matching the one in your pictures landed a short time ago there. I would say that is likely your best bet.
Considering we don't seem to have many other choices, seems like the bet we'll have to take.
Indeed. Now, I can ensure that your friend here joins you when he is able. But time is likely of the essence. Though if you want my advice, I would say stay well away. You are bidden to investigate, not to engage.
Well, perhaps it's part of the weakness you would call our humanity. I still care about my friends, for better or for worse. I'm not going to sit down and do nothing.
Then this could very well be the last time we speak.
We should be so lucky.
And he turns and he smiles and he says, I would not say the same thing. You are interesting. I will give you that. But this is not any sanctioned assignment. If you were to do this, you were to do this alone.
Like you weren't going to send anybody with us anyways.
You are absolutely right.
I know.
Right. If there's nothing else.
Chop chop. You know where I am.
I'll just walk over to that phone again and pick it up and call the gutter again.
Yep. The barman answers, what do you want?
Vague.
Fucking you again?
Me again.
And there's a wait, and there's a scuffle, and then there's a, what do you want?
We have a location. It's a warehouse, and I'll give the address. I don't know if you can send anyone, but if you can, literally anyone would be helpful.
Well, I shall ask around, but I won't give you any promises.
I can pay.
How much money do you have, huh?
I'm it's tied up at the moment, but it'll be with me very soon.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's tied up in a moment. Oh, I just need to speak to a friend. Oh, I'm just waiting for this business opportunity to rear its ugly head, huh? Yeah.
In a matter of days, I will have a large amount of cash. Too large an amount, actually. I'll have to get rid of it very quickly.
That is adorable. In a few days, I'm going to be so rich. Oh, no one will be able to refuse Donncha. He is the wealth of London, huh?
Just tell them that if they don't come, that I'll remember when the money rolls in.
You're gonna have a pair of shiny shoes, huh? You're gonna have a cane and a top hat to balance on those fucking ears, huh?
Thanks for your help, Fake. I have to go.
You're very welcome. I shall see what I can do.
Put the phone down on the phone.
What? Bam, and it just hits the floor. Anything you wish to do before you depart the shard?
Feed, actually, if
Nope.
If that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that they have taps here, but like we need them. We're going to go fight people.
Okay. So yeah, definitely you'll definitely get the benefit for actually having prey rather than just drinking for a tap. So if both of you would like to make rolls, which would be like you doing the bite and stuff, and make a note of that, we'll return to you and you can describe who and where you feed upon in a moment. We are going to cut back to a facility. We see that white room. Tess, you've been worked on for about 20 minutes. You have just been beaten, kicked, and stuck with what appear to be tasers. Which hurt despite your vampiric nature. And then they withdraw and they sort of stand the line behind Stasi, who is just sat on his chair. And he's actually just peeling an orange with a knife. And he says, "Now you had some friends, did you not? Some friends whilst you're in the hospital. Who are they?"
No one has friends. You only have allies. And I have none right now. Just enemies.
Oh, they left you all alone, huh?
There's no one but me.
Is that so?
Get me and the 10 million other vampires that you're gonna have to face at some point. Good luck with that. We're taking over the fucking world.
We have rather accurate readings of the existence of your kind in this country and others, and I can assure you it is nowhere near that number.
It's adorable that you think that.
If you were to do one thing, if you were allowed one small mercy before you are put down like the abomination you are, what would it be?
I'm the abomination. You and your clowns who've just been torturing me, and I'm the abomination.
If you cooperate, we can make your life comfortable.
Yeah, I somehow doubt that, in spite of your misinformation and your belief that vampires drain everybody. I highly doubt you would supply me with anything I needed.
It's interesting you say that. There appears to be a very, very powerful member of your kind that appears to be doing just that.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on. Tess! You must have seen it. Big Ben, big letters in blood.
I know nothing about that. Can't help you. Not my wheelhouse.
Tell me what you'd want. One small mercy before you're put down. Come on.
How about a swim in the ocean?
Many things in the ocean, darling. And right now you're being circled.
Oh, you think you're the sharks in this scenario? Bite me.
We are very much like them. In the old days, we were known as hunters. There are some of us that have experienced things in our lives that unite us. We are the ones that hear the bumps in the night. We are the ones that can also see what makes them.
Congratulations. Do you want a gold star for that?
We We relish in the opportunity to do the right thing and to protect humanity from your kind and others. You are not the first and you won't be the last.
It's funny, a bunch of your newbie guys the other day in that hospital, one of them said he'd never seen one of my kind before.
Yeah, we have new recruits every day.
Yeah, but he kind of seemed to be the one in charge. You got a bunch of rookies on your hands? For shame.
I believe the officer that you are referring to was the one that captured your image on his vest cam. He'd done a lot of tours abroad. Special Forces, SAS. More than a match for you who ran.
Half the part of survival is knowing when to run.
And yet you can't run anymore. So what are you going to do now?
Well, I haven't told you anything. And I suspect you still want more information, so I'm just going to sit here and wait.
I'm going to give you one last chance. You can tell me who the rest of those that you were working with are, or I'm going to make things uncomfortable for you.
Queen of England.
Very well. And he presses a button on this thing that he has, and you see that the roof, the ceiling that was blackish glass suddenly becomes opaque, see-through. We have but one night. Less, in fact. You can see the night sky above you. You can see the stars and the moon. It's your choice.
Go fuck yourself.
He gets up slowly, cracks his back. Disappointed. Still, at least you can live in the comfort knowing that all of those people that you've left behind will never know you're gone. And he turns
You're
around.
disappointed? You're disappointed because you thought I'd roll over and be your pet?
The night is young. No. As you were, and he motions to his men who advance upon you once again. Donncha, Siegfried, you are on your way. Are you going straight there, or are you going to do anything in particular?
I have a question. I don't know. Like in Ireland, I can't think of one place where I could go to buy weapons. Is it possible in London to buy a gun or a large knife of some kind?
Not really.
Yeah.
We have hunting places where if you're registered you can buy a hunting rifle maybe, but not really.
Okay.
If you wanted to find genuine weaponry, then you would have to find it from...
Yeah, it's not something that we could do now on the way anyway. What I think we can do now on the way is go to a leather shop and just buy or steal basically like a shit ton of leather clothing so that it'll work at some stage a little bit of armor. That's my hope.
Okay, so yeah, you can definitely raid places. You could break into shops and stuff. You can go and you could definitely find hunting knives and stuff and things like that. With a gun, you would have to take a little more time, but I'm sure you'll be able to find someone with a gun. Maybe even if it's going to get one off police people, find some armed response.
Questionable.
Yeah.
I think armor is enough. If we. So then I was thinking okay, they're going to have weapons and probably guns and anything that we can do to help in any way to slow that damage will be helpful. So he thinks that if we buy thick leather jackets or something, it might help a little bit.
Yeah. And
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the weapons, we only need to take one out before we then have weapons.
Yeah.
So I'm more worried about not dying before that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't think leather is going to do much for you. Against bullets, what you will need is Kevlar.
Fair.
But you might likely find that on them as well as weapons. So
Yeah.
that's the way you want to go about it.
Okay, so we'll just go there then. I think I'll talk to Siegfried on the way and say we have to do this very carefully and quietly, one at a time. We can't let them know we're coming. I can be invisible mostly. I might be able to pull one away, and we can drain them. And every time we kill one, we'll become stronger.
If we take one out in the workout, I can always try to I don't know, disguise myself or something. Put on the mask, put on the suit. I don't know.
Yeah.
You are walking down the street, and all of a sudden, a shape lurches from the dark to your left, Donncha.
It's fucking Gavin, isn't it?
Ratu! I found you!
You did. Not now.
But I have a package for you.
You do. Yeah, you do. Right. Yep.
I took all these pictures as well. The people inside, they didn't struggle.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
They didn't mind me taking pictures, and he shows you pictures, and you can see the apartment, but obviously people were still in it, so people are looking terrified in these pictures as Gavin has clearly gone into their house and taken pictures, and them not knowing what was going on.
Right. Gavin, I need you to take the pictures and the package. I need you to go to this address, and he'll give him Sid's address. Not Sid, sorry, Toff's address.
Toff's address. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been there before, Ratu.
Yes. Yeah, go there and wait, okay?
Can I have some blood, please?
Not now.
But
I need it.
You said.
Not now.
When are you going to come to visit me?
When I'm finished.
Doing what?
What I'm doing. If you ask me another question, I'm going to kill you.
Gavin just looks at you for a moment and then smiles, and then he looks over at you, Siegfried, and then he just looks at you like horrified. He's just like, as if to say, Ratu would rather hang out with this thing than me. And then he sort of just backs away and he just looks at you, but he doesn't move.
Go and wait in Toff's house. Go and wait there. And I will come and you'll have blood then, all right?
Shall I take more pictures?
No more pictures. Just go and wait there.
Okay.
Good. See you soon.
Bye. And he sort of ambles away. How are you getting to Brixton? It's a bit of a trek.
Is there a tube?
Yep.
That's what we'll do.
Yep. So you tube it and you get there without any particular worry. You find yourselves having to walk a fair distance from where you get off the tube, though. You find that there's a number of industrial sort of warehouses. There are long, flat stretches of concrete stretch out. You can see cranes and forklift trucks. You can see the odd digger and things like that. This is like an industrial site. But before you can see that there is a complex, which is essentially this warehouse that is surrounded by really, really tall fencing with razor wire capping the top of it. You can see that there is a searchlight sort of moving around from like an outpost. But there doesn't appear to be many like guards at all. There appears to be security officers at the gate and a few moving around the perimeter.
So before we go in here, I'm going to spend just a lot of blood points. I want to spend 4 to up my strength and dexterity twice each for this scene. So I imagine it's a case of him like getting there and he begins to like roll his shoulders, but then like the predatory instincts start to kick in. He knows that he's about to kill, and that like maybe his face becomes a little more gaunt, his like fangs a little longer, his teeth as well, his nails. Yeah, and he gets ready.
Anything you want to do?
Siegfried is going to do similarly with dexterity. Going to use 2 blood points as well to just pump up just that kind of sense of slowing down. It's becoming more elegant as his kind of celerity kicks in. Overdrive. I'm going to up my dex as well with some blood points.
Nice. Okay. What's your plan? What's your approach?
So the plan that I have would be to like watch the guards on one rotation and see where the place is where there's the least amount of vision. Like at what point there's the least amount of people looking in one direction. So if they're going around the perimeter or whatever, there's obviously a point in which along the long side of the building, maybe, there's only one guard. And that's the time at which Donncha would run up, grab that guard, break his neck, or drain him, or like pull him away, something like that, to the outside.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. This guy is a security officer. He doesn't appear to be wearing Kevlar, but he does have a pistol on his side. So yeah, please make the necessary attack that you would like to make, and I shall oppose it.
I'm going to absolutely... I've become a combat god now after I've used all those blood points.
Yes, you're going to be very strong. It's literally a formality rolling this dice, I'm afraid.
Oh, good God.
That's 3, 1, okay. Okay, you've got to beat 2 successes.
I got 5.
Yeah. Yeah, just tell me what happens.
Yeah, so that's... I mean, Donncha can basically just approach because he won't be seen. He's going to approach stealthily nonetheless, kind of sneaking. And when he's probably like in the shadow or like behind a parked car or something like that. And then when the previous guard has like gone around the corner, he runs up, grabs this guy, and is just going to bite so that he relaxes. And then when he's relaxed, he's going to pull him back to where Siegfried is. He's going to drink. I don't necessarily want to kill him. No, he's working for Winchester. Yeah, I'm going to drain him.
Drain him dry. Okay.
Yep. I mean, he's one of the enemy, and they would kill him if they had the chance.
Yeah, that's true. I won't make you.
You can make me do a willpower, a humanity test if you like.
I will actually. Yeah. Though I can't remember how to do it.
Neither can I. I think it's to do with these pools at the bottom.
It is. Yeah.
It's the self-control / instinct. My
okay,
that's right.
Memory serves correctly.
And is it plus anything, or just?
I don't know if there's a target though that you need to hit.
Yeah, that's it. If you have any dots in self-control underneath virtues, do you have any?
Yeah, I have 3 dots in self-control.
Yeah, give me a roll of that then, please. It might be wrong, but it's so friggin' vague.
I have 1 success.
You feel something as you drain this individual dry. You see his eyes sort of go dead as life leaves him. And you take a moment and you think to yourself, you're like, a couple of days ago, I was just working in a job, had a wife and a child who loved me very much, and like a couple of nights later, I am now killing someone,
Murdering,
murdering someone, and you lose a point of humanity.
Oof.
You take that step closer to becoming the beast.
And he's feeling it too. Like, he's feeling that predatory rush, and like a feeling of superiority and like of being an apex predator. Like, that was easy, and he feels powerful, and he likes that. I'm gonna. How much blood do I get from this guy? Do I get blood points? For drain?
Don't you get 2 points if you fully drain?
Yeah,
Okay.
you get 2. Yeah.
I'll spend another one on Dex then.
Yeah, that's fine. I hope you don't feel like I'm punishing you for the humanity thing, man. But I need to start doing like that more with.
No, I love it. I think it makes perfect sense. Like, I've just murdered a man, you know.
Yeah. So Siegfried, you watch as Donncha drains this dude completely. How are you reacting to that?
Yeah, I imagine like he sees Donncha, and they've done this enough now that he kind of gets a sense of the timing of it. So he's like, okay, he's done enough that he's going to be like out for a while, and then he just sees him keep going and keep going and keep going, and then there's just like nothing left but a husk. And Siegfried's gonna, I imagine, kind of a look of surprise, and then, but right now there's not time to quibble over the formalities of it all. So he's just gonna kind of push it back in his head for now, for not friend who might die at any moment. And he's gonna just go kneel down next to him, and try to like size up the guard to see if there's any chance that this uniform would fit him at all.
It's likely that it could fit. Yeah, it would fit you, I'd say. Yeah.
And Siegfried will just look. You can already hide, but I'll need something else.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can make this work. And he's gonna kind of drag the body away from where they were, just to make sure that he's absolutely nowhere visible before trying to just pull off the security vest and all the sort of security accessories, and try to slap them on himself and depart.
Perfect. Yeah, very good. Very good indeed. So you managed to deck yourself. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Take the clothes, and then pretend like you were going for a piss, and then walk back. Go back on the route. I'll follow you.
Yeah, okay.
So you begin walking out into the patrol line, Siegfried. I'm going to do this just as a formality. It won't be a difficult role, but I still want you to do this just because I think it will play up to your acting abilities, which I think will be pretty cool. So I would like you to give me a appearance and performance roll, please. Appearance is in social. So you appear to be a guard.
This is you've literally asked me for my best stats for both of my abilities and my stats.
I've never asked
so
for appearance.
theoretically be good.
Time.
That is 5 successes.
5 successes, yeah. I did roll for anyone that you might like pass fairly near, but no, you are this guard. Like you've gone full method on it, man. Is there anything you want to do whilst you're patrolling around? Donncha is, I'm guessing, trailing you, but is there anything you want to do whilst you're on that patrol route?
Yeah, Donncha's already kind of gotten an eye for the place, but Siegfried hasn't yet. So I think he's going to take the first part of the patrol just to kind of, just under the guise of keeping an eye out, patrol, just kind of checking out the different areas, who's on patrol with him, where are they going, where this tower is with the searchlight, tracking, just trying to keep an eye out for the flow, for the first, waiting in case Donncha has anything to add or notice.
So the plan that Donncha has is to take out all of these outer guards. Not necessarily kill them, but if the mood takes them, but definitely take them out, knock them unconscious, tie them up even, take their radios and their weapons. Once we've done that, make our way inside and basically slowly but surely like smash our way through everyone that we come across, ideally hiding bodies along the way. It's going to be very Metal Gear Solid, sort of slowly but surely making our way to the middle. Yeah, ideally we would find a terminal or computer room in there somewhere. It's a warehouse though, so I don't know how likely it is.
Yeah, so you're able to tell that on the patrol around, and whilst you're searching for the rest of it, you can see that it strangely is almost skeleton security force. In total, you see that there's about 8 members of security, including the one that you took out. So there are 7 that are still up. And this is over like a wide area. This is a really, really big warehouse. So if you do want to take them out, that will mean that you will have to go around the entirety of the complex to do so. So if that's okay with you, then I will get you to roll some stealth and some attacks. Well, you won't need to do stealth, but Siegfried will. But it's all really what you want to do.
It might not be necessary to take them all out if we can find a door and just get in now.
Yeah. So you...
Although, like, Donncha would be thorough. He would be thorough and make sure that there's no... Like that when they're leaving in a hurry, which will almost certainly be the case, that they don't run into like 7 dudes out here with guns. What do you think, Siegfried?
Yeah, I imagine that they could even kind of pull this maneuver where like Siegfried goes up as one of the guards to like talk to one of the other, and while he does so as a distraction, Donncha can have him just kind of use Siegfried as a bait, like, hey, I think I heard what was that? And then just boom, get him in the back while
so to replicate you doing this, then like tricking people and taking them out and stuff, I will require performance rolls from Siegfried and stealth attack rolls from Donncha, so you can sort of take them all out. And I will ask for 2 of each, please, just so I can oppose them and we can talk about how it happens. Because it is likely they won't see you and they'll be tricked by you, but I still need to check.
Is it dexterity stealth?
Dexterity. Well, if you're attacking, then you can just do your attacks because they can't see you. So
okay.
Just roll your attacks, man. And Siegfried, you roll your performances.
All right. Yep. My first go was 5 successes. I rolled a nice couple 10s in there.
Shit, well that dude got 4, so he was like maybe on the verge of like suspicion, but then I'll wait for Donncha's attack to see if it was
5.
Yeah, that's fine then. So you're able to take out the first couple. I'll say the first 4 go fine, but there was a little bit of tension at one point where it looked like one person was gonna call Siegfried out. But they are taken down and disposed of. I'm guessing non-lethally, the rest of them?
Yeah, non-lethally, but in a way that they won't wake up for at least an hour.
Yep, that's easy. Yeah.
And each one, we're taking the gun, certainly, and the radio.
Radios and guns, absolutely.
And phones.
And phones. Okay, so you now have 4 phones. You have 4 Glock 17s, each with a clip in them and a spare clip to go on the belt. So you've got a lot of guns already, and you have a radio from each of them as well. So that's 4 down. Do you want to attempt to do the same again for the rest of them? The remaining 3?
Yeah, I rolled my second roll and I got 9.
9 successes. Well, you never know. He might super crit and the dice will explode. Let's find
That's
out.
what happened to me. I got exploding.
And Siegfried, you go ahead and do the same. I will quickly see if that is... Okay, well, the first one isn't great, so the first 2 go down so easily, like it's child's play for you. Oh, hello.
That's 4. 5 again for me.
Oh, the last one gets 5 as well, so he's about to scream out, but let's just make this like a horror movie moment because this is the last one. And he's walking around, and then all of a sudden he realizes he spots maybe the boots of one of his comrades, and then he turns around, and at the last second, He's looking into Siegfried's eyes and realizes that you're not who you're supposed to be, and then this beast from the darkness just goes vroom, and just grabs him. Wicked! You have swept the outside of the warehouse. Within the facility, Tess, you have been left alone for a little while. You have been beaten severely. You aren't particularly. You aren't in a good place. You are still in a lot of pain from what happened with the fetch, and you are now in a lot of pain from what Winchester has done to you. What's running through your mind, and do you have a plan?
She is pulling at these manacles, just testing on them to see if there's any way she could break free, and she's looking at the ceiling, and it looks like it's some sort of a glass, right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so she's trying to form some kind of a plan in her head. You said there's mirrors on all 4 walls, right?
Yeah, apart from the one that has right, so big long mirror here, big long mirror here, big long mirror to the back of you. There's no mirror where there is like the iron door where they came through.
Yeah, so she's gonna, if she's left alone, she's gonna go sit in a corner, and I'd like to, pretend to be kind of defeated and crying, and I'm really pulling at those manacles and seeing if I can work them apart anyway on the hinges and see if I can get my hands free.
You can definitely do that. That'll be strength, and let me see if anything else. It might just be straight strength, actually. Unless, yeah, it's just going to be a straight strength.
Okay. I can use a blood point to make something better.
You can, yes, but I'm going to say that you're going to be in a weakened state. So how many blood points do you have at the moment?
I have 4.
So you're going to be on 2, I'm going to say.
Yeah, so if I do that, then I'm on 2?
No, you're on 2 now.
Oh, I'm on 2 now.
Yeah,
oh,
you've just been battered to hell,
yeah,
and
okay.
you would have lost.
That was going to be my other question.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you don't want to run out of that, let me put it that way.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to have to roll it and see what happens. That is 1 success.
You are trying as hard as you can, but you swear that there was some kind of strange power like running through these things. Essentially, these are magnetized, like they're magnetically locked to these things. They are designed to be put on vampires, and you suspect vampires probably stronger than you.
Okay, while she's sitting in that corner, she's just gonna kind of look up and go, Leopold.
At this point, he would have left the room, but if you say it loud enough, you might be able to bring him back into the room.
Yeah. Leo.
There is a pause, and then eventually the doors open, and a number of the guards, like 4 guards, step into the room, and one of them comes in, and behind those green goggles, a voice from the mask says, "Long time no see, darling."
No, you look the exact same as all the others. Sorry, I don't recognize you.
You ran away from me.
Not ringing a bell. Hate to break it to you, you're not special.
What do you want?
Not you, clearly. I was calling for Leopold.
Why?
I'd like to speak with him, obviously.
Okay. He just gives a nod, and 3 of them remain whilst 1 goes, and then shortly after, Leopold returns and walks directly towards you, and looks down. Yes.
I've decided what I want. My last mercy, as you put it.
By all means.
You know, I'm originally from Texas, and there's this great barbecue place. I'd like some of it.
Yeah. I don't believe you. You don't require such thing as normal food, do you?
Well, obviously not.
It's interesting. I have actually brought something for you to consume. Would you like to see it?
No.
Ah, it won't take long. And he reaches into his belt and he pulls out what looks to be a clear bottle. And he gives it a shake in front of you. You've felt this sting before. Now, you're gonna comply. Because if you don't, I will force you to drink this. This is blessed. This is ordained. And this won't kill you, but it will make the rest of your existence unbearable.
You're a real hero, you know. I never asked for this.
No, I'm not a hero. I'm just doing what needs to be done. Hold her. And the 4 guards basically grab you, pull you up, so you're basically pinned into the corner. And Leopold is approaching. He is undoing essentially the fastening on the bottle, and he is going to prepare to pour holy water into your mouth.
What do you want to know?
I want to know who your friends are and where they are.
Do I look like I keep tabs on them right now?
Just a name will do. Very well, and he begins
Fine.
approaching.
Fine. Gavin Ratu.
Roll a deception for me, please.
What with it?
Let me see. I know I say roll deception because I'm just falling back onto 5e. I actually need to check.
Yeah,
so,
there's not actually a deception.
I know,
There's manipulation, which I suspect it would be subterfuge, maybe?
That's what I would say. Manipulation subterfuge is a good call. Or
yeah.
Let me see. I swear there was an actual one for just straight up lying. I could be wrong. No, okay, subterfuge it is, and yeah, manipulation. But I'm going to say that because you are still harmed, you're still. Let me see what you were on.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you're going to have to deduct 2 from your usual roll.
Okay. Let's see. That one is going to go away, and that one. Oh, yes. So that's 3, and 2 of those were 10s.
Okay. If those 3 rolls are successful.
Okay, 1 of those was successful, so that's 4 total.
Okay. Well, he's looking at you, and then he sort of closes his eyes like this. And he opens them, and he says, I have seen many things in my time, and I have heard many like you in the exact situation that you're in. But I didn't realize that when we were capturing a former lawyer, we were going to discover she was such a bad liar. And he grabs you and he begins to try and pour the holy water into your mouth. We cut away.
Oh.
Donncha and Siegfried, you are before the doors of this warehouse. The security teams have been taken care of, and you are standing at the the entrance.
What kind of door is it?
Double door. Actually, no. You know what it is? It's one of those massive iron warehouse doors that you actually have to wrench open, like along a rail, like that.
Balls. Is there a window nearby?
There are windows, but like many warehouses, up really, really high because their walls are usually stacked with shelves and things like that. So there's no reason for having a window here. So really high up, there are windows. A few of them look pretty like weak. You could probably smash through them, but it's still smashing through windows. So
I wonder if it's louder to smash a window or pull open this enormous door.
wonder indeed.
Well, if we open the door, we can at least still try to play up the disguise. If we smash a window, there's not really going to be much luck with that. We'll be going straight in at that point.
Why don't we call someone outside?
So if yeah, I could try to act as though there's been some sort of security threat. Call out for someone to help.
Yeah, some gang of ruffians.
But we don't know how many people will.
Hang on, this could work. This could work. You get on the radio. You tell them there's like a gang of ruffians that have like been around the perimeter and they've been drinking and whatever else. And then we give it a few minutes. Then we smash a window, and then you say, "Oh, those little fuckers threw a brick."
Okay, yeah, I like that. So Siegfried's gonna pull out the security radio, and make that call. Just kind of taking a second to compose himself, get back into security guard character. Before it's a gang of ruffians around the outside. Looks like they've been drinking, acting up. One of them keeps eyeing over the fence. I don't know what they're up to, but something's going on.
There is a really long pause, and then eventually, this is Central comms to perimeter team. What classification? What alarm code? Over.
There hasn't been any issue yet. Just wanted to point out a potential problem spot.
Are you fucking dumb, mate? The voice says down the radio. You need to say over, over.
Sorry, sorry. I'll be more careful with that. Over. He'll like say it super exaggeratedly.
Fucking smart ass. Keep us appraised of the situation. Over.
And Siegfried will let a little bit of time pass before giving a nod to Donncha.
Okay. Donncha is going to climb the wall like a freaky vampire, and then he's going to crash through a window.
Just straight on, just jump in through the window.
I'm going to look first.
You look, you see that the warehouse is long. Within it, you see that there are a number of really specced out military jeeps, tinted windows and the like. You can see that there is a very long hangar. You can see that there's quite a lot of people inside. You can see that there is what looks to be like there's a cordon off section which has a number of desks and computers on. There are a number of generators that are whirring as well, and you can see that there are a number of guards stationed all around the warehouse.
Okay.
You also see that there's a huge set of industrial metal doors, which you can make out as a industrial lift, like an elevator.
Yeah, so just to kind of complete the charade, as it were, when there's the smash of glass, Siegfried's just gonna call back out over the radio. One of those bastards threw a brick. Let me grab someone else and we'll get him out of here. Oh, over.
With that information, Donncha, are you still jumping through the window?
Yes.
You land inside the warehouse. Siegfried, you watch as Donncha vanishes inside. There is an instant as an alarm begins, and you can feel like an instantaneous amount of movement from a number of guards within the warehouse.
I'm gonna move as quickly as I can away from the window that was smashed. Ideally, I want to go towards where those jeeps are.
Yep.
Yep.
Can you give me one other thing for me? I'm going to need you to actually this time make me a stealth roll, and there's a very good reason why.
Absolutely. Yep.
Stealth and dex, please.
Okay, my dex is currently 5.
Ah, yes.
3 for stealth. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 10.
Don't forget any ones. Deduct your things as well.
5. No ones. The lowest was a 3. So 5 is what I got.
Excellent. You see at the last second that there are a number of sensors that, you know, being sort of into security and stuff, you don't entirely recognize. They don't look particularly helpful to your cause, and you can see that they have some kind of almost like a laser thing where if they're broken by something in particular, they would set something else off, but you're able to evade them as you start running around the corners of the warehouse.
Yeah, my idea is to get to a jeep, and I want to open up the fuel compartment and like unscrew the cap, and I'm going to like rip off a bit of my jacket or like a t-shirt. I'm going to stuff it in there. I'm going to set it on fire. I'm going to do that to 2 of the jeeps, and then I'm going to run deeper into the warehouse.
Yep. To do that, can I have another stealth roll, please?
Absolutely.
There are going to be guards stationed all around you at this point.
Yep. Really good. I'm really good at this.
No, I know you are, man. Oh, but come on. Okay, you've got to beat 6 successes.
Got 2 10s here. I'm on 4, so if these are both successes, I will beat it.
Come on. Yeah, you're up against a lot of people right now, so.
It's a 10 and a 2, so 1 more to go. Oh, I'm going to use a willpower to automatically succeed on this dice. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, yeah. You see that the flame is. Are you doing all 2 of the jeeps? Are you lighting 2 of the jeeps up, or was it just one?
2 ideally. So I want to get, rip off a bit of cloth, stick it into the fuel compartment, and then light the cloth on fire. Like literally the tiniest bit of cloth, because I don't want there to be a long time between me lighting it and it glowing.
Yeah, you're actually able to time it pretty well. Where are you moving to once you've lit that? And then I'll go to Siegfried.
Deeper into the warehouse, to the where the computers are.
Yeah. Okay. So you start stealing yourself towards that area. Siegfried. You're still outside.
So, yeah, Siegfried's going to be listening, keep the radio on him and handy, trying to keep an eye out and an ear out for any important chatter that might come over that. But other than that, he's going to kind of try to keep an eye out. He's trying to see if any of the doors open or if they try to keep everything inside. Just kind of keep an eye out, see if there's any approaching anything else. Kind of actually pull some security guard duty for the moment and keep an eye out.
Yeah, you're actually making the steps to sort of move a bit further away from where you were standing next to the near where Donncha jumped up and through the window, and then the huge metal doors slide out, and 6 individuals pour out rifles with laser sights, and they pull down goggles, and they go green, and one approaches you. Are you the one that made the called in the alert?
Yeah, I saw a group of thugs. I don't know where they went, but they were causing some problems.
What the fuck are your
I
team
think
doing?
we chased them off. I'm sorry. Like he's just kind of trying to act like the dumb new guy.
Where's your commanding officer?
Let's see. The commander. That one was.
You
Shoot.
don't know who your
I'm sorry.
commanding officer is?
I think he went to go chase those people away. I'm sorry. I'm new. I'm newer here. I'm still learning names.
What's your badge number?
He's gonna pull his badge and look at it and read it off.
He just snatches it from you and he looks at it and he like makes a note of it. Then he says, "Where are the rest of your team?"
He's gonna look around, confused.
Where are the rest of your team?
Siegfried is going to look towards all of these people, and he's going to use a blood point to presence.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. That is
This is 6 Winchester guards looking at you.
okay. So, I swear to God, 10 successes.
Oh, okay. That's good. I had 8 successes. I was like, this is going to be tricky, man. But you pull it off, man. What do you say? What could you
so
possibly
let me
say?
just make sure. Let me real quick find it fast. I just want to make sure that I have the exactly what presence does.
That's okay.
Right.
I'll tell you
So
what I can do. I will cut back to you in a moment. Then you can tell me the result of it. Is that all right?
Yeah, that works.
Perfect. We cut to beneath the surface in the facility, and I'm gonna need you to do a brawl strength, please.
I'm trying to kick that out of his hands. They've got me by the arm, so I'm assuming they're holding me up. So I'm going to use them as basically leverage and kick my feet up to try and kick it out of his hands.
You certainly can, but you're set upon by 4 people and he's approaching you, so it's not going to be very easy, but by all means, so difficulty 8.
So, oh my gosh. Is it dex or strength?
Strength.
Okay.
Strength and brawl.
Oh, geez. Difficulty 8. So that means I need to get an 8 or higher on all of them?
Correct.
Oh, and I'm at -2.
You are at -2.
This is not good, you guys. No successes.
You go to make a kick at him, and he actually sort of steps out of the way, and actually grabs hold of your leg as you go to kick him. So not only your arms behind you, you're up against the corner, and he comes into uncomfortable sort of proximity of you. You can feel his breath on you, and then he says, "Drink up," and he grabs you by the face, and there is a explosion that rocks through the facility. Alarms start blaring as there is another and he sort of withdraws from you, all of a sudden half expecting you to have been the cause of this, and then he whirls around and he goes, "What is this?" And through the radios, alerts are coming through that something is happening, and he basically turns to those men and he says, "You six, do not take your eyes off her. It would seem we have company, and we're ready for them." And that is where we're going to leave our session tonight.
Ooh, that's intense.
Oh my gosh, Rob, start to finish.
Oh man.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, he's frozen. Oh no. He made it right to the end though.
Yeah, right to the end. If there was
The
gonna have to be
explosion was too much for his computer.
yeah.
Oh.
Like these tell these ruffians that like I saw like something that like looked weird, like a person that looked strange, like not a person, so they would think maybe it was a vampire and go chase after it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that explosion is going to change
It's gonna
change how
help.
they feel about that though. It's gonna make it a little more difficult.
We should do the end of game thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if we can manage it before the session times out.
Hopefully he can make it back in before it closes out.
So what is it? Thing you learned and
Yeah.
thing you learned.
Thing you learned
So
and the thing you learned.
everybody
Yeah.
point for free, just for being here. And then it's yeah, you learned, and then something cool that the other people think happened about your character.
Jeff, what'd you learn?
A lot. Siegfried learned that like I think one of the main things is probably like even the people that he thought were none of these people that they've met outside of the other party members, Siegfried would bother to consider friend, but he at least thought, that if something important happened, that it would be of everybody's interests to pitch in. And he's quickly learned that that is not the case at all. That all of these terrifying things, these Winchester agents, these, replicant versions of vampires that are doing crazy things, that, he thought that would be like alarms going off for the Camarilla, for people like Fag, for all these people. And everyone's just like, okay, so what? Figure it out. So just that realization that even all these friends, quote unquote, that they've been making have to action that might drag them into something dangerous. Like it's all just trying to pull straight fits. It's not actual real ties to anything.
Yeah, that was gonna be my one. You can't trust anybody. Everyone's a bastard. I also think Donncha learned that it's really easy to like be a monster. It's like real easy to just kill people and to do things that way. And he like learned that it has an impact when you do it. Also like learned that he's like a killing machine and like can be very good at this sort of thing. like would make an excellent secret agent. You know, like his skills are really specific and really, really useful. Yeah.
The most secret agent.
Yeah. I also think like the thing with Feg is interesting, like that what do you call it? Like your man wanted to get free of Feg. That like Feg is somehow also the authority, you know, to some extent. Even though he like masquerades as being a chill dude. I think that Feg is also kind of like, you know, he's the hierarchy.
Yeah.
That's
he does the same things that the Camarilla under a different guise.
Yeah,
like instead of
yeah.
being like we're the boss do what we say, it's just like, oh, you know, I help you, you help me, but you know, you helping me just happens to last for all eternity, and
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
never doubt of that relationship.
What about you, Tess?
What about Tess?
Tess has learned a lot about the Winchester, and about their capabilities, and about whatever these phosphorus bullets are that can like turn vampires to ash, because that's seriously concerning. I think that might be probably one of the most practically useful and concerning bits of information. There's also just everything else with the changelings and everything. But I think that the idea of a bullet that can turn a vampire to ash is deeply troubling.
Yeah, pretty scary.
Hello,
Yeah.
Toff.
What about you, Toff?
Hey, what do you guys freaking killed it, by the way. What are you guys on? What Tess learned?
Yeah, what'd you learn?
What
Yeah,
did you
what-
learn? What Toff
what
learned?
What did
learn?
what did Toff learn? There's shit out there tougher than him.
Yep.
For that short time
Yeah.
he was there. No, I was actually thinking about it on the drive into work. The number one thing that Toff learned was slow it down. I think he let needing to save Tess impact his decision making. It's probably a smarter way that he could have tried to save her rather than just trying to brute force it. So that's, I think, was a learning moment for him for sure.
All right. What now?
Yeah, that
Role
makes
play
sense.
moments?
Since we started with Siegfried's learning, we'll start with his RP moments. I really enjoyed kind of the beginning in the limo, like just the looks between him and Donncha, and this whole like, are we gonna do this? I don't know if we're gonna do this.